they're senior, they'll want more, John.
Oh, they will. And believe me, there's a lot more than there used to be.
Has anybody put on weight during lockdown?
Put on weight? Put on weight? You think I've always looked like this?
No.
Yes, I have actually, yeah.
I've lost
a lot of weight on.
It
must
be unusual. I've lost weight. I've lost a stone and a half.
Yeah,
How have you managed to do that?
Get up late.
I've
taken a lot more exercise than I would have
walking.
done.
No, I did until the autumn, and then I've been idle. Been on loads of walks last summer.
Yep.
But you shouldn't take the picnic with you, John.
Yeah, how true. It's the roast hog that's hell of a job to carry as well.
So you eat it, so you don't have to carry it home.
We're all mad. We're all mad.
We're all gung-ho crazy, aren't we?
Yeah.
Now that were a film. Gungered in, weren't it? You're a better man than I am, gungered in, Keith.
I thought you were going to say that were a good film. There were one called Gung-Ho, weren't they?
I'm not sure. Probably in the 30s they did a load of stuff like that that were related to British references.
What are you trying to say, John, about 30s?
30s, they were a great decade. Excuse me, what?
Sorry, we've had a disaster.
What?
The wind's caught the conservatory door and blown it completely off.
Oh, the wind's blown the conservatory door off.
Oh. Can you still make
I may be back.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Give our love to Jenny.
Oh dear.
That's not good.
Bad start, isn't it?
It's not that windy. It's not that windy here.
No, it is. It's a bit blustery here.
Yeah.
I've been for a walk this morning and it was certainly blustery.
Yeah. We were once going to Bramall Lane and we got out of the car. We'd gone in Sue's car, which was a Ford car at the time, KA. And a gust of wind blew and it bent the door. We had to have a new door.
Yeah.
Unreal. Anyway.
Match.
Of course, yes.
Did they win?
I can't remember. We must have done. We always win. Right. Without further ado, there's not much news as far as I'm aware about the group, apart from perhaps news that it might be able to start up again in June, back in the libraries, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that.
No.
I saw Richard in the week.
Yeah.
Richard in the week. He's doing well, and he sent his thank you for all the birthday wishes.
Right. I mean, the one thing that surprised me is Boris has been saying for a couple of weeks, we're not going to be driven by dates, we're going to driven by data. So when he makes his announcement, it's full of dates. But anyway, hey ho, that's Boris for you.
Remember them dates that you only used to get at Christmas?
The trouble is, Keith, they're the earliest dates, aren't they?
Yeah. There's a 5-week gap.
Guys, can we get off this?
It's all the detail.
And I could query some of those statements.
Yeah.
Sound like Piers Morgan. It's a Piers Morgan interview.
Anyway, the library meetings may start late June, July.
Yeah.
So we'll have to have a discussion about dates.
Yes.
And still continuing the Zooms, but how does that fit in with the library meetings?
I think, as I privately mailed you, John, I don't think you'd have any problem at Man at Top having a laptop running because it's a separate room. But I just think Sandra might get a bit crinkly.
Yeah.
In an open setting in the Crystal Peaks
Oh,
library.
that's true. That's
What
true.
about the downstairs at Crystal Peaks, that room?
No,
Not-
you have
Well,
to
there
pay
is
for
that,
it.
but it's not owned
They
by
won't-
the library.
won't let
It's
us
gotta be
have
booked. Yeah.
There's
Right.
some friction there. Paul.
There's,
Yeah, but I
there's
mean,
a
I think
group
the
that's
Zoom
had
should
that
have been a big
room
success,
for
thanks to
about 10
Keith, and it
years
should
long.
continue.
Yeah, we'll find a way, whether it's a slightly change of date or time or whatever, but we will find a way when it
Don't
comes
be
round.
driven by dates, Keith. Don't be driven by
I won't be driven by dates.
Anyway, thank you for your interest in my conservatory door.
Yes.
Is the conservatory still there?
The conservatory is, but the door has literally blown off.
God.
Has
It's
it pulled
snapped.
the
The
hinges
hinges have
off?
snapped.
Sorry?
No, gazebo then.
The hinges have snapped, or the bottom hinges snapped, and the top hinges buckled, but I've managed to wedge it back in place. A temporary repair until I can get in touch with somebody after the meeting. Yeah.
All you got to do is put Jenny up against it and she'll keep it shut for you.
What are you trying to say
24/7.
about Jenny?
Tell her to keep the door shut.
I mean, John,
While she's stirring the mixing bowl.
That's it, yeah. That's it.
John, if you don't know anybody, let me know afterwards, because I know somebody who works in double glazing.
Oh dear. Oh, that's good, Keith. I've got one contact, and if that doesn't work, I'll get back to you. Okay.
Yeah,
John, be careful of that. The guy operates from Keith's loft.
The reason I'm in a different location, if anybody's noticed, is that Jenny is actually working on the census from today.
Oh.
With
the two of you,
commandeered the kitchen.
There's only
I
two
thought
of
you were
you.
just trying to be posh.
Oh yeah. Well, when you see people, tell them they've always got books behind them, haven't they, when they're being interviewed?
Whether
they've read them
or not. I'm going to
Yeah,
say
exactly.
Very neat.
some they might have even read.
Yeah. And how is Jenny? Apart from
She's a
having,
lot better. Unfortunately for me, she's recovering, which means she's got loads of energy and she's back to dominating me again. So it's
wearing the
hard work
boots
now.
She wearing the boots again.
Yeah.
You love it, really.
Yeah.
Do I?
She's using her
When you
common
say-
senses.
When you say she's working on the census, are the forms that difficult to fill in?
The bloody are. No, she's got our stairs up on every stair, and there's about 14 of them. There are about 100 census forms that we've got to distribute tomorrow and the day after.
Well, how many people live around your place?
Oh, it's a big house.
Sounds like a
they're not-
house.
they're not for people in our loft, are they, John?
There's not enough for people in your loft.
Yeah.
Somebody
Right.
at the door.
Anyway, onwards and upwards. I've got no news to report of the group anyway. No
Okay,
significant news. Yeah.
Right, thanks, John. So
Well, we had. Ron met Richard.
yeah,
Just to let
Well,
you know.
that's true. Yeah, I mean, I've had conversations with these people, but of nothing of significance. Richard's happy that I've bought him 3 things for his birthday, all of which he'd already got. So I'm happy.
What do you buy? Something that's got 2 of everything.
Exactly. The third one.
yeah. Right, we'll move swiftly on to Lowell's News of the Week.
News of the week. News of the week.
News of the week.
News of the week.
News of the week.
Well, you've covered my first little item already.
What, my conservatory door?
How did you know that was going to happen?
Your goalpost.
I live near John, that's why I know. Anyway, up to now, in the words of the song by Talking Heads, we seem to have been on the road to nowhere. But as
We're
from
on the
yesterday,
road to nowhere.
Boris has now given us a roadmap which actually leads somewhere. I thought that would lead John to a song.
Yeah.
No,
Can
you,
I-
Lol,
can I-
you, Lol, you
let me just
realise
think-
none of us are on that map.
Yeah, let me just interrupt you on that. You've reminded me of a story.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry about this. We once went on a trip to New York.
New York, it's a hell of a town.
Yeah. It then went up to Niagara Falls and back down to Washington and various other places.
Shuffle on to Buffalo.
And
Didn't we have a map?
No. After a few days in New York, we then met up with the coach and we got on the coach. And
then.
yeah. And the lady who was running the coach, the rep, said rather than people standing up and talking about themselves, he came and asked us all a bit about ourselves, where we were from, what did we do, or anything exotic. Or anything.
14 hours later, after you'd finished, Keith, where were you then?
Back home.
So,
when she go back to Niagara Falls, where he's chucked off.
Yeah, when she came to us, bearing in mind that there were a lot of people on this coach as well. We said, "Oh, we're suing Keith from Sheffield," and she says, "Oh, are you with that other couple from Sheffield?" And we said, "No." Anyway, so there was another couple from Sheffield who happened to work at. I didn't work there at the time, but they worked for the DWP. So anyway, to cut a long story short, we were talking to this couple as to how why they were there, and they'd actually won their flights to New York and bought the tour afterwards. They'd won the flight because Virgin Record Shops held a competition to a phrase about a song. And they said, their entry was, the road to nowhere is the only road that can take you to New York. And they won it.
And that won?
And that won.
What?
Bloody hell, there couldn't be much competition.
It was flights to New York that was the prize, and they said the road to nowhere can take you to New York. They won it. Anyway,
that's the will to live.
Sorry.
Just shows you what
mentioned it now.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Get it up, Lol.
If only my other conservatory door would blow off. Yeah.
Go on, Lol. Well, I'm not going to mention a song again anyway, Keith. We'll begin with the biggest sporting event last week, I think, was the tennis. Raphael Nadal saw his bid for the 21st Grand Slam title end as Greek fifth seed Stefanos Tsitsipas fought back from 2 sets down to reach the Australian Open semi-finals. Taking the first 2 sets comfortably, 6-3, 6-2, the Spanish second seed was stunned as Tsitsipas took the next 3 sets, the first of which went to a tiebreak to win the match. I think that was the best match of the whole tournament, to be honest. Now, American great 39-year-old Serena Williams left her Australian Open news conference in tears after her semi-final defeat by Naomi Osaka. Williams saw her latest bid for a record-equalling 24th Grand Slam title ended by Japan's 3-time major champion, who won 6-3 and 6-4. In the final, 23-year-old Osaka beat American Jennifer Brady 6-4, 6-3 to win her 4th Grand Slam and extended her winning streak to 21 matches. With earnings of £35 million last year, Osaka is the highest paid female in world sports.
Wow.
In the male final, top seed Novak Djokovic kept up his dominance of the Aussie Open by beating 4th seed Daniel Medvedev comfortably 7-5, 6-2, 6-2 to win a record-equalling 9th men's title. The 33-year-old Serb has never lost a final in Melbourne and now has 18 Grand Slams to his name, 2 behind Roger Federer and Raphael Nadal. So some good tennis overall, but both finals I think were disappointing.
Yeah. What was different about the matches this year?
No line judges.
That's one difference. Yeah, there was
They shouldn't have taken place.
It shouldn't have done, possibly, but there was one big difference.
Well,
The umpire's chair going up on a ramp.
No.
Oh, it's the crowds.
Other than those two big differences, what other big difference?
The score.
The scores were straight sets.
Yeah. What happened when it got to 40 all?
No idea.
Mm-hmm.
There were no juices.
Did they just play for one?
Yeah, there were no juices.
And why was that? Why did they decide to do that?
Well, I think because, you could get one game that lasted 20 minutes because...
Good.
Well, of course you could. But that's tennis.
That's what
How
it's
did
about.
they decide it then, Keith? I never noticed that.
Yeah, I'm 99% certain of this. It just whoever won the next point won the game.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I always thought they used Robertson lemon barley. That's going back, isn't it?
It is. It is.
It
You could get orange as well, but lemon was the one, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Extraordinary.
And you always, if you're a right-handed tennis player, you always had to drink after your left hand because it would get sticky. Did you know that?
Positive minor
Kind of useful
information.
But
Rolling
difficult when
Stone,
serving.
sticky fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, must have been a problem when serving.
Want to hear the news or not?
No.
Come on, I'll get going.
Who needs a warm-up, man?
Athletics. Now, Great Britain's Elliot Giles, he ran the second quickest indoor 800 metres in history. He set a new British record at the World Indoor Tour in Poland. Clocking 1 minute 43.63 seconds, he beat the previous British record, which has been held by Sebastian Coe since March 1983. It is Giles' third victory in the Indoor Tour Series. Compatriot Jamie Webb, who finished second, also bettered Coe's time when he clocked 1 minute 44.54 seconds. Now, Giles appeared to be wearing Nike Air Zoom Victory shoes in the race, which have been hailed for distance track spike design. Some people in the sport believe those wearing this brand have a very unfair advantage over other athletes wearing rival brands, and that the record books will be rewritten beyond all recognition due to modern technology. Now, Marathon Paul, I mentioned last year about Mo Farah and Sifan Hassan also breaking the men's and women's 1 hour records. And Paul said they ran in super fast Nike shoes. That's right, Paul?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's all sorts of debate going off about it.
Yeah.
Because Adidas have now brought out a similar shoe, and it's possible that they're going to try and ban them. But then if they try to ban them, then there will be legal writs saying you're not allowed to ban them. So they're in a mess.
Are you going
Do they sell any centre forward shoes? Have they got any like self-scoring ability?
It's not good enough to help Wednesday.
Oh, you've no need to talk, mate. You've no need to talk. Yeah. Yeah.
At least we're where we are legally.
Going back to the shoes, there was a road race quite recently. In the half marathon, nobody had ever beaten 58 seconds. Sorry, no, they wouldn't. Would they? 8 minutes. In this particular race, 4 people broke it. They all got the new shoes. Yeah, the record all time, obviously.
They're not shoes.
I can't quite see what the problem is, because in every sport, new technology advances the sport.
It does.
I mean, look what George Best football boots.
He's not,
George
at the
Best
moment,
stylo
he's
boots
not
did for football.
evenly distributed.
Yeah.
Golf
I
is
mean,
the biggest.
Roger Bannister ran on a cinder track, for instance, and nowadays nobody would dream of running on a cinder track. So there's always been technology.
Motor racing and golf, I think, are the two biggest, aren't they?
Yeah.
Exploiting technology.
It's the only people who are complaining are those that can't afford the new shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, which is about 99.8% of the population.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they're not that expensive. They're not that expensive.
Have you got a pair?
No.
You get a pair. Get one.
we'll see.
Just get one. Might go around in circles.
So how much is not that expensive?
About 250 quid.
Oh, no, they're not that expensive, are they?
Well, even the ones that I run in are 120, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not that expensive if you're a professional, but
no,
you don't buy them if you're a professional.
Paul, the contract's part of the problem. Sponsorship contracts.
Sorry,
some of the athletes can't use them anyway.
That was initially part of the problem.
Our sponsorship contract, one of the problems.
Initially, that was a problem because only Nike made them. And if you weren't sponsored by Nike, then you were struggling. But Adidas have brought out another shoe now, and so most of them are covered. So that's not the issue now either.
Yeah.
There's been a bit of industrial espionage there, I suggest.
Yeah. The trouble is, if you try to ban them, and you can only wear a certain thickness of shoe, for instance, or so many carbon plates, they're going to have to test everybody's shoes before they start the race.
Yeah. Whatever happened to those football boots that Craig Johnson designed? Those shark skin, whatever they were. Are they still made? Do you know?
They swam away.
I know the design was refined over a few years.
But you used to be able to buy football boots that had got studs that revolved. Didn't you?
Yeah. And hovered. You hovered 6 inches above the mud.
I know that will make you own.
Oh, that just in my dreams. Yeah.
No, that was just a good player.
Billy's boots. That's it. Billy's boots.
Billy the fish.
Billy the fish. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I better put my aluminium bat away then. That'll be.
No, you have to throw it away, Chris.
Yeah. That was a really cracking idea. That one.
Throw it into the pavilion.
Right. Carry on.
Yeah.
A little bit on darts.
Oh no.
You've always got to ask why.
Women's darts.
The 5-time world champion.
Women's junior darts.
The 5 times world champion Raymond van Barneveld has regained his professional darts corporation tour card. The 53-year-old relinquished his professional status at the end of 2019, but came out of retirement last September and has gained enough ranking points at the PDC qualifying school. He is set to make his return this week at the Super Series in Bolton. The Dutchman will then compete in the UK Open in Milton Keynes next month.
Go fix your door.
Bit on boating. The Henley Regatta organisers have confirmed this year's regatta will be postponed until August because of the COVID-19. The event, originally scheduled for 29th of June to the 4th of July, could take place at Henley-on-Thames between the 10th and 15th of August, or alternatively, it could be moved to the London 2012 Olympics course at Dorney Lake. Last year's event was cancelled for the first time since World War II because of the pandemic.
I might go to that. It's only down the road from me.
I'll see that.
Yeah, I have to talk like that. Can't move my mouth on it.
And one does, doesn't one?
Definitely, ride a bike.
A bit on basketball. Now, Luke Nelson's shot on the buzzer helped Great Britain qualify for the 2022 Eurobasket finals after an 83-81 win against Germany in Podgorica. The victory, coupled with France's winning against Montenegro in Saturday's other group game, assured Great Britain a place in the finals is in September next year. Also on basketball, Jamal Murray became the first NBA player in history to score 50 points in a game which did not include shots from the free throw line, as the Denver Nuggets beat Cleveland Cavaliers 120-103. Murray sank 21 of his 25 shots, which 8 were from the 3-point range line. Now, judo. Now, an Iranian judoka who refused to return to Iran after reportedly being ordered to throw a match to avoid facing off with an Israeli is now competing in Israel. Saeed Malay has said he fears for his life if he goes back home, following the episode in the 2019 Judo World Championships in Japan. Iran, which regards Israel an arch foe, was suspended from competing by the International Judo Federation over the incident. The Israeli media has called his presence at the Tel Aviv Games as historic. Now, a little bit on cricket. Now, Chennai Super Kings have bought England all-rounder Moeen Ali for £700,000 at the Indian Premier League auction. South Africa's Chris Morris is this year's most expensive player, costing Rajasthan Royals £1.6 million for the 2020 tournament.
No. Who does this money go to? When they buy these players for $750,000 or $1 million, who does the money go to? You said you've bought him. Does his mum get money? Where does the money go?
Goes to the player.
Goes to the player. Less
It
agents.
goes straight to the player.
Oh, yeah.
Or the player's agent.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, England
Right.
all-rounder Tom Curran, he went to Delhi Capitals for close to £520,000. His compatriot, Dewi Malan, who is number 1 in the World 2020 batting rankings, was sold to Punjab Kings for nearly £150,000. What would you have bought, Keith, in your heyday?
Me?
Keith. No, Keith Jackson.
Keith Jackson.
Probably about 20 quid.
Much as that. I'd call you a superstar with that.
Yeah, probably would have been, yeah.
You were worth a lot more than that, Keith.
No, I don't know.
Oh, you were?
I don't know. Been interesting. Been interesting to find out.
Chris would probably have gone for a couple of ice creams.
When you mention Moeen Ali, is he the same Moeen Ali that can't stand being in a bubble and is tired and he needs to go home?
That'll be the one.
I think that's a bit unfair.
No, it's pretty accurate.
Just only a little bit.
It's a pretty accurate summary of.
It's not bad money though, Chris. Is it not bad money at all?
It's not about money, no.
Yeah, there's one player who decided to go home, didn't he? It could have been sold for about £500,000. But he said his family.
That Tom Woods.
I can't remember the
Mark
name.
Wood.
Mark Wood. Yeah, he refused to go. He wanted to stay with his family.
Woods. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think Alex Howes was bought either. I think
No, he wasn't.
2 or 3.
Rashid was either.
No Jason Roy. They weren't both.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right, go on.
Okay, a little bit on horse racing. Now, horse racing is to become the first major sport in Britain to introduce saliva testing that will screen jockeys on the day for banned substances, including cocaine. Previously, jockeys were tested using blood, urine, and hair sampling. But by taking samples of saliva, results will be almost immediate, which means a jockey can be prevented from racing that day. It is hoped that this form of testing can be used in other sports because not only is it quick, it's also a lot cheaper.
Isn't it the horse that they need to test, though?
Yeah.
Go back on the road to nowhere, Keith. little bit on rugby union. Now, New Zealand's Dan Carter, who won 2 World Cups and is World Rugby's record point scorer, has announced his retirement from professional rugby. The fly half won the last of his 112 All Blacks caps with a man of the match display in the 2015 World Cup final win over Australia. The 38-year-old has since played for French club Racing 92 and Japan's Kobelco Steelers. The 3 times World Player of the Year returned to New Zealand for a brief spell with the Auckland Blues in 2020. A little bit on snooker. Now, world number 81, Jordan Brown, became the lowest ranked player in 28 years to win a ranking title with a shock 9-8 victory over Ronnie O'Sullivan in the Welsh Open. The Northern Irishman kept his nerve in the deciding frame to claim the Ray Reardon Trophy and the £70,000 first prize. Now we'll finish on football. A few little items on football.
Yeah.
No, not come to ours yet. Championship club Bristol City have sacked head coach Dean Holden following a run of 6 successive defeats in all competitions. The 41-year-old departed after City lost 2-0 at home to Reading last Tuesday. The Robins Board of Directors decided a change of manager after the club slipped to 13th in the table was necessary, and they've now appointed 57-year-old Nigel Pearson as their new manager until the end of the season. Now, a question to you all. Pearson has previously managed 6 clubs. Can you name them?
Leicester.
Yeah.
Leicester, yes.
Watford.
Yes.
Watford.
Who?
That club in Belgium.
No, I'm talking about British clubs.
Is
Carlisle.
it a Leicester
Carlisle,
feeder
yes.
club?
Carlisle, yeah. 3 more. Next up, one on the south coast.
Oh, was it Derby?
Did you say Derby?
Derby's
Derby's
one.
not on South Coast.
He did Derby.
Derby
He did manage Derby. He can't
It
help
will
himself,
be with
I think.
global warning.
It's Southampton one.
Southampton, yes. And one on the east coast in Yorkshire.
Hull.
Hull. That's correct. Another
How
item.
long is it since Bristol City last won a game? And when do they play Wednesday?
John, the writing was on the wall for that manager when they lost at Bramall Lane. Yeah, you go and do that, your career is on the line.
Now, another manager to get the sack, Michael Jolly, who had only been in charge of Barrow for less than 2 months. After suffering 4 straight defeats, which has left the Division 2 side 23rd in this league, he was dismissed after the latest loss and replaced by
crisis.
Rob Kelly in a caretaker capacity until the end of the season.
I bet he's not happy.
It's not a crisis.
At Bournemouth, they've appointed Jonathan Woodgate as head coach until the end of the season. He had been in caretaker charge of the Cherries since the sacking of Jason Tyndall 3 weeks ago. The former Middlesbrough boss has won 3 of his 5 games in charge in all competitions. Another team to appoint a new boss is Bristol Rovers. They've appointed ex-Fleetwood boss Joey Barton on a 2-year deal with the club 2 points above the League One drop zone. He will take charge of his first game tonight at home to Wigan.
Another manager who lost at Bramall Lane, and again his card was marked immediately.
The kiss of doom.
You can't do that.
You think Klopp will lose his job next week then?
Yeah.
Who's that? Klopp.
Klopp.
Yeah.
Think will he lose his job next week?
When he loses at Bramall Lane.
Yeah.
Dear God.
We played the
Another
junior
item
11.
About
He's only interested in setting up records as Klopp.
Yeah.
Now, referee Darren Drysdale has been charged by the FA after appearing to square up to and lock heads with a player in the closing moments of a match last Tuesday between Ipswich and Northampton, which ended 0-0. Is being charged with using improper conduct. Now, Ipswich player Alan Judge went down in the penalty area in the 90th minute and thought he should have had a penalty. But despite the Northern Ireland's international pleas, Drysdale did not award one. Judge protested the decision, walking towards Drysdale as he did so, and the pair exchanged words before the match official leaned his head towards Judge and appeared to square up to him. But rather than issue himself a red card, the referee, who was ushered away by a Northampton player, raised his yellow card and booked Judge for diving. But I thought it would.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have wanted to take that referee on. He looks a big lad.
He did.
Yes.
He did.
He was towering over the player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But much as I don't like him, and much as they do a lot that's wrong, I mean, they have a lot to put up with, don't they, from some aggressive players?
Absolutely.
But not as much as a Sunday League referee does.
I've had a look at it, and it's all down to the referee. His career's finished, and he was actually what highly thought of, but he's done. He's gone now, finished.
Till next week.
No,
he's going to be head of VAR at Stockley Park for his calm, cool, selective manner.
He's on the road to nowhere.
Yeah. So as Brian topped himself for what we're talking about referees, what is it?
Yeah, right.
We're coming.
Lol, we're down to just a minute now, so.
Well, there's only a couple more items which I can do within the second half, and then Chris can go on with Chris Silverwood.
Right.
If you like.
So we'll listen a minute. What are these two items?
One about Liverpool, one about the Blades, and one about the Owls. Very quickly.
Sorry,
No.
just
Well,
pass
we
on
haven't
with
got-
the one about Liverpool. Thank you.
Agreed.
So we'll
Gary.
wrap up the first half, and we'll see you in 5 minutes.
Righto.
Be ready.
Cheers. Cheers.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.